Yo, what's going on guys, Arekkz here and welcome back to another Destiny video. And in today's video I thought we'd have a quick chat about some of the most relevant information that's been cropping up as of late pertaining to both Destiny that we know right now and also Destiny 2. As always, the latter comes with a healthy dose of speculation, but it's all from reliable sources, so it's worth talking about. Also, I appreciate some of this is from last week, but at the time I didn't feel like it warranted its own standalone video, hence why I'm grouping it up into this quick update. So, if you do enjoy this, then as always a like would be super appreciated, but also comment down below and let me know your thoughts on all of this. Now, first up, let's start with the most recent this week at Bungie. This is something that'll be relevant to us playing Destiny right now. Iron Banner returns next week, that is February the 28th, and the game mode is Supremacy, but what's more interesting about the blog article actually wasn't Iron Banner, but it was the closing segment. It ended by saying, quote unquote, next week, Deej will be back stateside. This was of course from Cosmo. Maybe he will even drop a roadmap of what to expect in the month of March. Yes, this is where you can make jokes about us hinting at future updates about future updates. We don't mind, we're just excited to get you information. Now, a roadmap for what happens in March would be amazing. The hardest thing about not having new content isn't actually the lack of content, believe it or not. It's the lack of knowing. If we can get a little bit of insight into what's coming next, even if it's further down the line, but we at least have something to look forward to, that will help break the silence. Whether this means an update on what we can expect for the current existing game in the form of content, patches, etc. Because let's be honest, while we all really want Destiny 2 right now and we want to know more about it, we're also going to need something to tide us over until the inevitable end of year release. However, if that roadmap instead ends up being a timeline for Destiny 2 announcements, then I'd also be okay with that. Either way, for Destiny fans, March is a month you won't want to miss. So of course, keep it locked because anytime there is information, I will keep you guys up to date. Now, moving on from there to the Destiny 2 speculation stuff. First up, a tweet from Luke Smith last week. He initially spoke about how there are too many good games right now and there's not enough time to play them. Obviously, he's a very busy man working on Destiny 2 and whatnot. To which someone then replied, won't you be busy working on the next D2 DLC by end of year? No rest for you, sorry. To which Luke then replied, negative, once we wrap this project, it'll be a long time before I ship anything again, rest I must. Now, just as a quick reminder, Luke Smith is creative director on Destiny 2, but he was also one of the leads on the Taken King, Destiny's best expansion to date, and also the expansion that brought some much needed changes to the base game. He's also a big World of Warcraft fan, which is probably why the raids that he worked on were the best in the game, namely Vault of Glass and King's Fall. Anyway, that aside, you can take his comment to mean one of two things. Either that once he's finished working on Destiny 2, future content will be led by another team, which is entirely possible. However, what's more likely, especially when you look at, say, the MMO model, is that once Destiny 2 is shipped, future content will then be delivered in a very different way. This is something they've been wanting to do since the start, to release a game that is then built upon with frequent content updates, only their existing tools don't really facilitate that in the way that they want it to, hence why we get a load of DLC expansions. Now, an investor call late last year spoke about how Activision and Bungie are working together to create a better content pipeline that'll allow them to better provide a constant stream of content in Destiny 2. So if that's the case, then it may well be the reason Luke Smith said that once Destiny 2 is out, it'll be a long time before he ships anything again, is because once Destiny 2 is out, the content delivery will be much more akin to that of something like an MMO, where there is a constant stream of free updates adding content every few months. For example, look at something like Final Fantasy XIV, a game that I'm playing quite a lot right now. That is a game where you buy the base game, and sure there are a couple of noteworthy big expansions, things like Heaven's Ward and the upcoming Stormblood, but in between that you have regular patches every few months, and these provide you with substantial new content. Sure, those content drops may be smaller than, say, a standalone expansion, but they are more frequent, and as such it keeps the world alive, it gives players things to constantly aim for, and if this were then to apply to Destiny, it would then help them build out their vision for exactly what Destiny is really supposed to be. And that latter take is how I am personally interpreting Luke's tweet. I see it as he's going to ship Destiny 2, or they will ship Destiny 2, it'll then be out, and it'll be a product that is expanded on constantly, hopefully frequently, and therefore there won't be a need to actually ship a physical product for quite some time. Obviously at this stage we could just be reading into it too much. Maybe Luke just meant that after Destiny 2 he's going to take like a year-long holiday and climb the Himalayas or something, who knows? But what I do know is that if Destiny 2 could adopt a model like that, we'd be in for a much better experience in the long run. Now after that, rather interestingly, Mega Constructs revealed their new Destiny line with this Destiny Cabal Goliath tank building set. This set features a buildable Goliath tank with rotating turret and articulated jets, a tank that fully opens to reveal the interior troop bay, 4 highly detailed superposable micro action figures that include Commander Zavala, 1 Cabal Phalanx and 2 Cabal Scion. And all the figures come with detachable armor, etc, etc, etc. And of course if you look at the image, that is all true. However, it's not actually this set that is interesting. See, a few weeks back, these sets went up on Amazon without images but with product descriptions. There's the one you see here, one for the Aspect of Glass ship, and one for the Cabal Bruiser Battle Building set. And it's this last one that is interesting. See, the description for this third set says, builder will hang a platform, set the scene for a clash between a bruiser's crushing strength and a master swordsman's skill. A legendary warrior faces his greatest contest yet in the tower hangar. Wielding his raise lighter, hero of the Crucible Lord Shaxx prepares to pit his blade against the furious cleavers of a Cabal Red Guard. Now, that is obviously something that has not happened in Destiny so far, and we've been wanting to see a Cabal-focused story for a while now, and if this is to be believed, then perhaps the setting for Destiny 2 will see the Cabal rush the tower and will either have to defend it and suffer the consequences, or fall back and risk losing the place we've called home for the past few years. At this stage it's too early to say, of course, but the fact that one of those 3 sets has now been officially unveiled helps further validate that rumour. Again, once we know more, I will of course keep you guys up to date, but let me know what you guys think. Do you like the idea of Cabal rushing the tower, possibly upheaving everything we've come to know and hold dear up until this point? I'm personally always one for change, so that sounds pretty cool. If they kind of got rid of the tower, it got destroyed or got taken over, and we had to kind of set up camp somewhere else, that could be really cool. Although, having said that, I would also like to see some new enemies, something we haven't seen before. Not just more Cabal, Vex, Fallen, and Hive. Especially not Hive, please. No more Hive. Anyway, final thing, and this one is just a quick one. A couple of weeks back, a previously unseen Vex cinematic went up on Vimeo. The video has since been removed, but it depicted the birth of a Vex. Now, it's entirely possible that this is just old art that went up on an artist's portfolio, having never been used. But the fact that it was then pulled down is what makes it interesting. Too early to say anything at this stage just yet, again, of course. But if there's a Vex angle in Destiny 2 as well, I would be cool with that. I mean, they're definitely one of the more interesting races out there. So, again, something to think about. But either way, for the time being, that's pretty much it. That is a roundup of all the recent news, rumours and speculation. Apologies, it's a little bit late, but hey, since right now there's not much going on, it's always good to talk. But for the time being, make sure you keep it locked for all things related to Destiny 2 going into this year. And thank you for watching, take it easy, catch you next time, peace out.